Hello everyone, and welcome back to the forest. Do not fall, camera. Precariously balancing on that tripod. It's good to be back in a video. Things have been happening, been lots of busy things that I can go into. Projects going well and all. But, my friends, I wanted to deliver a Christmas message. One that I thought of whilst contemplating how things are, and it inspired me, so I figured perhaps by sharing it I can inspire you as well in this time of year, and hopefully other parts of the year too. I even wrote down some stuff and some notes, so now I did write a lot of this down in my notes on the phone, so I'll have to cast my eyes to read it. But I was in the moment, and this all came to me. If I didn't write it down, I might not have been able to remember everything. So another lesson is to write things down when they come to you. Because it's not a feeling that lasts very long. But if you can bring yourself back to it, it does make things a whole lot easier, I've found. So, emotions, human turmoil, all sorts of stuff. We experience it all the time. Sometimes it consumes us. But there's one thing that I thought to myself, and that is, I'm not a slave to my emotions. Sometimes I can feel things and feel them strongly, but I'll always come back to the truth. The truth that the force, God, gods, the energy, whatever you call it, I call it the force out of simplicity, that it is all around us and me, that everything meant to be will happen, and that I need not worry, for I have absolute belief that everything will always pan out. But every experience is of value, good or bad. Not only that, but the gods watch over us. With them helping and the force around us, we can never fail. The reason people fail is because they didn't trust it. They pushed against it. Like a light switch, they can only block the light, but they can't kill the source. So, generally I have this great love for the people I know. The friends that we make in this life are very special, I'm sure we've all realized. Some fill us up, you could say. Some are merely pleasant, and some of them are meant to teach us things that are downright unpleasant. But each one is a gift to our lives. To not realize that would be a missed opportunity. Even the random people we meet, each one has something to teach us, and in turn we have something to teach them. Each one of us is writing our own story, and we draw inspiration by what's around us. The story idea flows to us. Sometimes we become so wrapped up in it, it starts to become real. And this can feel great, or it can feel awful. I'm sure we all know how that feels. I believe both are important. But the most important is when we are able to step back from the book and think, wow, what a story. One for the ages, the most important book of our lives, you could say. When we realize it's a story, we can look back on what's happened. We can look back on what was written. You can look at what you just wrote, and all this gives us such a perspective the likes you can't imagine. I just think about the first time you read the twist ending in that favorite book, and then looked and seen the foreshadowing. But most importantly, you can then decide what you want to write next. You can decide what happens. But no, I can't, you say. True, everyone else is competing with their own book. but only you have control of yours and its main character, you. The hero can do whatever he wants if he's willing to. Action, adventure, romance, horror, it's all there to be written. But the one thing that unites it all, except horror, unless it's the fun kind of horror, and if you believe it is, you will escape it. But all we want is to feel good, to be happy, as vague as that word is. We all just want that sense of peace. What is that peace? It has many names: bliss, serenity, love. And we'll stick with love through this video because that's the buzzword. It is a word that most people understand. This force is the best feeling in the world, and yet it is so simple. It's not even moving, it just is. What is it that stops us feeling it? Well, we move too fast. We don't see it. Always moving too fast, running here and there. What makes us run? The answer is fear. Now, the way I see it, there are two forces in this world: love and fear. Everything else is an offshoot of it. All the things we feel from love are from stillness and peace. All the things from fear are from rushing away and being afraid. But I'm not scared, you say? Are you sure? Ask yourself this: what is anger? The fear of not getting what we or someone we care about wants? What is sadness? The fear of never having something or someone again? What is ignorance? The fear of finding something out you won't like. I'll add, what is jealousy? The fear of losing something that you have to something else. What is envy? The anger, henceforth the fear of not having something that you want. And what is anxiety? Big thing here. The fear of things that haven't happened yet, but you think might. What is passion? Is it raining? Anyway, what is passion? Oh, this is a hard one for many to accept. The fear that if you don't hold on tightly, the thing you feel you need will go away. This one needs an analogy, a true one, unfortunately. Let's say you're passionate about going fast in a car. You need to break that record, or you won't be happy. Well, because you were holding on so tightly, you went against your own feeling and pushed the car too hard, and it exploded. This has happened before. If you weren't holding on so hard, you may have noticed that you didn't have to push so hard. And maybe you would get that record, or maybe not. But you'd feel fine, because you simply enjoyed every moment of it. You loved what you were doing. Ah yes, that's love. And it's always stillness and acceptance. I posit this theory, and I've never heard it said by anyone else, so this is just me, that all emotions are based from fear. That there are no emotions that truly make us feel good, because fear is in motion. It's running from or towards the threat, but it's only when we stop can we smell the roses. There are mixes, of course, and adrenaline rush and adventure are both in motion and still. For we have to be in the moment while we do these things. That's why they feel good. But if love is the main feeling that we all want, how do we get it? From someone else? No, that's a special kind of love, and it's nice. Though uncommon, I'd say. Obsession and the fear of loss is far more common, but no. All of the love we need is right here within us, and all around us. And while love feels like stillness, it is also like a tranquil river, so it's flowing freely. And that is motion, yeah. But it's a gentle motion rather than quick, sharp movements. We must let it flow within us, to the world and through everything we do. Love the world unconditionally, I say. Meaning give all your love freely without expectation. Yet know that the world will give back as much as you give out. But what even is unconditional love? I've heard said before that it does not exist, that there is only conditional love. But I say nay. I hold to the exact opposite. Conditional love does not exist. Conditional love is, as I've heard one person put it, attaching ourselves to superficial objects and ideas, and then trying to live them vicariously through the people we become close to, or things. These conditions ultimately make us lonely because no real connection is ever made. Conditions being that if you don't do this such thing or that such thing for me, with people, objects, as well as our situations, then I won't love them, it anymore. That's not love because it is fleeting, and I believe that love is immortal, so it can't go away, truly. It is cold out here. Unconditional love is to feel that sense of joy towards something or someone, and accept that feeling no matter what. In anything, if it started unconditionally, it can be forever if only you let it. It's feeling that that force flows from you to everyone, and eventually back to you, however that may be. Whether from another person's unconditional love flowing back, or just the smiles you create from having such a feeling towards life. So, love the world and everyone in it. To a point. I'll get to that. Perhaps this is what love thy enemy means. You've heard the saying. It does bring up a good thing. Loving thy enemy doesn't make them your friends. But it does save you from feeling hatred. Even if we were in a great battle and knew that they must be eliminated. So no, what I'm talking about doesn't make you a pacifist. But it does make you a realist, as you also must love yourself along with it. Some might say loving everyone so unconditionally means you will be taken advantage of. But you'll know when this is happening. And when it happens, that's when we step away from that situation. You know it was all part of the story, and the characters who did it are part of it. We will not put conditions on others, and in turn, will not allow conditions to be put on us, and that's the way to not get taken advantage of. When you start and trust in that feeling, I feel you will know who and what to trust instinctively. The things you do not, cast them no judgment, only know that they write their own story. The thing you do get close to, love unconditionally. If eventually reasons make that thing, now I'm being general because this isn't only about relationships, it's about everything in our lives. If that thing has to go out of our lives, or even if we have to step away, we let go, but continue to love it. As we did before, we simply remember that we also have to love ourselves. And or let everything and everyone do what they truly feel is right. In most cases, there will be sadness, but we are only human. I would have to talk forever to cover the many tiny exceptions in each specific thing I've mentioned, but I feel generally this is a great thing to go back to. Especially in this time of year, perhaps that's what the spirit of Santa is meant to teach. That's what giving symbolizes. Giving freely, without hope or expectation. Love in its truest form. No one can take it from you, and only you can give it. Then, if you give yours and it's felt, you can't take it back. But that's okay, because there is more than you need within you. It is infinite. Now this is coming from me, I sound like I just stepped off the mountain that was under the golden Buddha. Will I be able to sustain this feeling? No. Will you be able to if you suddenly feel it after watching this video? That would be cool. Let me know if that happens. Will you be able to sustain it? No. We will forget it. We will go back to writing and get wrapped up once again, like the book of life that gets forgotten when you look away. Or in our case, if you look too closely. But if we know this truth, then every once in a while we can step away from the book and we can see the story in all its glory. Because that is when we feel real love for everything. Think about it, just like your favorite book. You like everything that happens, even the unpleasant parts, because it makes the good parts greater. And while you may hate the villain, you actually love to hate them. You might wish certain things happened differently in some parts, but if it's your favorite book as a whole, you love the entire thing. That's my message. Merry Christmas, my friends, and good Yule.